Stephanie Adamow with the Consumer Technology Publishing Group, and we are very, very excited this morning to have with us Richard Glikes. Hello, Richard. How are you?
Hi, Stephanie. How are you?
Very good to see you. And you had a pretty big announcement this morning, and we are so honored that you are going to be here telling everyone about it here with us here at the Consumer Technology Publishing Group. So why don't you tell us all about it?
Well, I've been in the electronics business for 35 plus years, and I decided to do my own thing. And I came up with a really cool name, Azione Group, after rejecting Cool Group and One Cool Group and BBGE, Best Buying Group Ever. I came up with Azione, and so Azione Unlimited, and we're all about share, trust, and prosper. So we're looking to form a buying group, launch early 2012.
Okay.
And we'd like to max out about 250 dealers. We don't want them to overlap. The probably core value is sharing, interacting, because I think together we're a lot stronger than we are as individuals, and absolutely. I think that'll make the group really have value to
Is there anything behind the name that sort of got you that exemplifies what you're talking about, the mission here?
I'll tell you the real story is I wanted, because the group is about sharing, I went on to the dictionaries on in my computer, and I put in share in Greek, and it came up with these letters that looked like Z's and Q's and E's on their side, and I couldn't make any sense out of it. So I went to Italian, and I said, share, give me the Italian word, and it came up with Azione. But it also said ECON after that.
Okay.
And I couldn't figure out what ECON was, but I looked at, so then I put Azione in and went Azione to English, and it came up with action. And it turns out that the share part is it's your share of something, it's your piece of something, it's your action. But the real word means action. And I just like the idea of action unlimited, and then the share piece of it, which is kind of a different use of the word share. But I think it's meaningful because that's really the core value of the group, the interaction with one another. The other thing that's really cool about this group is that the vendors are going to be members and the dealers are going to be members. In a lot of groups, there's this adversarial relationship. We're all in this together. And that's what I think Azione Unlimited is going to differ from the other groups, is because the vendors will be members and the dealers will be members. And there's a third component that I'm going to introduce in December, right before we launch, that will also be missed too.
Okay, we will definitely stay tuned for that. And one more thing I just wanted to touch on that I thought was very interesting in your statement, that you had said that you're not in competition with HTSA. You have your own niche, and you were talking about the differentiators. Is there anything else that you want to sort of plug here today that sort of kind of exemplifies this niche that you're...
Well, I think the other difference between HTSA and Azione will be the makeup of the dealers. First of all, there are dealers in markets that can't be in HTSA that are large dealers, and there's small dealers who really just feel disenfranchised from the groups they're in, or they're not in groups. So I think that's going to give us a larger footprint. HTSA has 60 dealers in 37 states. We look to have 250 dealers in 50 states. If you do the math, it's only 5 a state. Now, there'll be more in California. There'll be a few more in New York. But we don't want them to compete against one another. We think there's plenty of room. And we think there's a lot of great dealers out there that can bring a lot to, to the group. And we also think that we have some marketing that they're not used to getting. I think we can bring some web ideas to them and some great ideas when it comes to programs too. I think we're going to have some programs that will be very fruitful, and we're going to have less vendors than any other buying group too. I want to focus on 32 vendor partners.
Okay. Well, that is also a nice segue into, just want to make sure, we have a lot of people here that are going to be watching and very interested in what you're going to be doing with Azione. Is there anything else any other message you want to send to your potential members about what you're building here?
I'm already on phase 2, and phase 2 will launch in 2013. And the problem in our industry is there's no exit strategy. There's really bright people, but they can't get out. They invest, and they can't get out. So I have an adjunct business. It's really, I think, it's a piece of what they do now. It's a kind of like a side door. I think we're going to set up separate corporations of each of these 250 dealers. And I think I plan to take that either public or sell it privately as an adjunct to their business. So phase 2 launches in 2013. I'm trying to buy a website on November 4th. It comes up again. It was not renewed, and there'll be a bidding process. It parlays right into the plan, and then maybe everybody could cash out, which would, or keep a piece and put a little money, take a little money off the table. I think that would be good.
Okay, wonderful. That was an excellent introduction, unless there's anything else that you want to add.
The only thing I'm going to tell you is every 2 weeks I'm going to update everybody as to what's going on.
That's wonderful.
And January 1 we launch, so Happy New Year's.
All right. Good luck to you, and thank you again so much for sharing all that with us.
Thanks, Stephanie.